So when I think of the Middle Class Scholarship Act, I think of my parents.
On campuses across California.
They deserve the Middle Class Scholarship Act, and all your parents deserve the Middle Class Scholarship Act, and all the people out here who are paying their own way through college, they deserve the Middle Class Scholarship Act.
In Chico, Los Angeles, Davis, Berkeley, and many others, thousands of college students have come together to support the Middle Class Scholarship Act. This day, many more came to join Speaker John Perez, the author of AB 1501, at a hearing of the Assembly Higher Education Committee and testify in support of the legislation that would establish the Middle Class Scholarship, which seeks to make higher education accessible and affordable again for middle-class families. It does so in two ways.
First, the bill allocates $150 million to the community college system to provide relief on textbooks and other costs for community college students. Secondly, the measure creates the Middle Class Scholarship, which will provide 2/3 reduction in student fees for any student in the UC or CSU whose family earns $150,000 a year or less.
The Middle Class Scholarship means savings for a CSU system student of $4,000 in 1 year, or $16,000 over 4 years. The savings for a student in the UC system, $8,200 in a year, or $33,000 over 4 years.
Since 2003-2004, state budget challenges, new corporate tax breaks, and the inability to find consensus to increase revenues, these have conspired to cause significant and unsustainable increases in student fees at our institutions of higher learning. At the community colleges, we've seen our fees triple. At CSU, we've seen a 191% increase. At UC, a 145% increase.
I was on the honor roll for 2 years straight, and then I had to get a third job. That's the only reason I'm not on the honor roll anymore. I currently have 4 jobs now, so you can see my GPA is dwindling just a bit, and I still have above a 3.3. If this bill had passed when it was able to affect me, I could graduate with honors. I could have any job when I graduate from the university, but now, like many of my peers, I may be graduating in unemployment because I was not able to spend enough time garnering support, networking skills to be in a point of employment when I do graduate.
I'll be attending CSU East Bay in the fall. As a successful transfer student, I'm excited to get started there. But one of the big things about me being a transfer student with my family is how are we going to pay for it? With student loan in this country amounting to more than $1 trillion just this last week, it was a serious concern to my family. And we had the serious discussion of, can you not go to college?
My mom's a high school teacher, my dad's a travel agent, and though their salaries are modest, they make just enough that I'm ineligible for Cal Grants. Over the past 3 years, my expected work and loan costs have hovered between $18,000 and $22,000 a year. I've worked not 1 but 2 jobs. Last year I moved in with my parents again and commuted 4 hours to and from school every day. And I'm also graduating 1 year early to save on tuition. But all of this has still not been enough to prevent me from taking out student loans, and I'm going to graduate with about $13,000 in debt.
Despite enormous budget problems we've faced in the past couple of years, the legislature has worked to safeguard state financial aid programs to ensure that low-income Californians still have a viable pathway to higher education. But for middle-income families who earn too much to qualify for our traditional financial aid programs, the fee increases at CSU and UC and community colleges means that higher education is becoming, the cost of higher education is becoming too great a burden to bear.
A burden that the speaker and students testifying say will be greatly alleviated by the Middle Class Scholarship Act.
This is what this bill means to me. It gives me options, it gives me allowances, it gives me opportunities, possibilities, and while at the same time, it allows me to have fun as a college student, which is what many of us are missing out on right now. We're overworked, underpaid, and unprepared for real life when we graduate under these terms. This bill will allow very much more.
Members of the Higher Education Committee gave the Middle Class Scholarship Act its full support with a unanimous, bipartisan vote of 8-0. This report was produced by the Speaker's Office of Member Services.